Students, today we are going to start with our second chapter, that is tissue. Okay, in this chapter we are going to study about different types of tissues. Okay, the tissues which are found in plants as well as in animals, right? So the word tissue means a group of cells. Okay, tissue is a group of cells having a common origin. It has a common origin and it performs similar functions. Okay, so what is a tissue? Repeat. Tissue is a group of cells. Okay, it is a group of cells, aggregation of cells. Okay, which is having a common origin. Means वो एक ही जगह से उनका origin हुआ है, बने हैं वो एक ही जगह से. Okay, having common origin and perform similar function. So this is your tissue, right? Now, organisms, if we see in the universe, they are of different type. The main organisms are your plants as well as the animals, which we can see. About microorganisms, we had studied in our chapter cell, right? So now we have to study about plant tissue and animal tissue. Both are different from each other. Why? Because their functions are totally different, right? Plants can withstand heavy rainfall, environmental conditions, severe sunlight. Everything can be cope up by the plants. Plants are not going to run from one place to another कि अरे बारिश आ गई या धूप है बहुत तेज, ठीक? क्यों? Because they are having a specific mechanism in their body. उनकी body में उनके plants का structure जो बना है वो एक बहुत ही specific mechanism से बना है. उनमें already protective organs जो है वो present है, ठीक है? So the most important protective organ present in the plant is the protective part which is present in plant is the cell wall. Okay, the cell wall which is made up of cellulose. Cell wall is made up of cellulose which is protecting the plants, right? Now if we see in case of plants, they are mainly of two types. Okay, plants tissue. Okay, we are talking about the tissue. Now I tell you one more thing. The study of tissue is known as histology. Okay, histology is the branch of science in which we study about the tissues. Okay, all the tissues, any animal tissue as well as the plant tissue. Okay, now unicellular organisms are having single cell. There is no aggregation. Single cell is able to perform all the functions. But whereas in case of plant cell or multicellular organisms, they are having a aggregation of cells, okay, which perform different functions, right? A cell will combine together to form a tissue, and tissue will combine together to form a organs will combine together to form a organ system, and organ systems will combine together to form whole organism, right? So today we are going to study about the plant tissues, right? Now your plant tissue is mainly divided into two types. First one is the meristematic tissue, meristematic plant tissue. Second one is the permanent plant tissue. Meristematic tissues are having high energy level, or we can say they are dividing very fast. Okay, their division capacity is very fast, right? And it is found in the region of plant which shows growth. Okay, and growth can be seen in root tip as well as the shoot tip. प्लांट जैसे जैसे लंबा होता है तो हमें पता चलता है कि हाँ इसकी ग्रोथ हो रही है, ठीक है, लंबाई लेंथ बढ़ रही है उसकी, और जितना प्लांट ऊपर लंबा है उतना ही वो जमीन के नीचे भी, ठीक है. सो वी कैन से meristematic tissues are found in the growth region of the plant, that is the root tip as well as the shoot tip. Okay, the second one is the permanent, right? We'll study about meristematic tissue first, then we are going to deal with the permanent tissue, right? Now your meristematic tissues are mainly found in three categories, three places. First one is the apical meristematic tissue. You can see here it is apical meristematic tissue. Second is intercalary meristematic tissue, and the third one is the lateral meristematic tissue. I'll draw a diagram and I'm going to explain about it. Then we are going to start further. Okay. Now, this is a diagram given in page number 74 in your book, NCERT book. Page number 74 is having this type of diagram. See, apex. Apex means top. Okay, top of the plant contains apical meristematic tissue. Okay, in the middle we are having intercalary. Okay, intercalary meristematic tissue, and then we are having lateral meristematic tissue. Okay, apical meristematic tissue, intercalary meristematic tissue, and lateral meristematic tissue. Now I am going to tell you about its function. Now, apical meristematic tissues are found in the root tip as well as the shoot tip. They are having very high division capacity. Okay, the cell divides very fast in the apex. Okay, apical meristematic tissue as well as the apical meristematic tissue. Okay. Apical meristematic tissue is responsible for increase in length. Okay, it is responsible for increase in length. Okay, it is responsible for increase in length of the plant. The next one is the intercalary meristematic tissue. Intercalary meristematic tissues are found between the nodes. Okay, and they are responsible to increase in the girth of the plant. Intercalary meristematic tissues are responsible for the increase between two internodes. Okay, they are responsible for increase length of the plant between two internodes. Now, what is the internode? See, if we can see in a plant, we are having leaves. Okay, leaves arises from node. Okay, this part is known as node, right? And the distance between two leaves, this one. Okay, this is known as internode. Okay, so in plants, intercalary meristematic tissue is responsible to increase the length of the node. Okay, the last one is the lateral meristematic tissue. Lateral meristematic tissue is responsible for expanding the plant, or it can give width or girth to the plant. Means it can make the plant strong width-wise. Okay, it can grow the plant width-wise. Okay, students. So with this, we have completed our plant tissue meristematic part. Okay, next part is the permanent tissue. We are going to deal with that. The next part of the plant tissue is your permanent tissue. Just now we had seen about the meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue is responsible for high growth and development of the plant, right? Because they are having cell division capacity, very high cell division capacity, right? Now, permanent tissues are formed from meristematic tissue. Okay, when meristematic tissues grow older, it converts into the permanent tissue. So we can say permanent tissue loses the capacity to divide. Permanent tissue loses the capacity to divide. Now, depending on their functions, they are of two types. Permanent tissues are of two types. First one is the simple permanent tissue. Second one will be complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissue. Now, simple permanent tissue, depending on their structure and functions, they are mainly of three types. Simple permanent tissues are mainly of three types. What are they? Parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Okay. These are the three different types of simple permanent tissues. First one is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Okay. Now, parenchyma performs the major functions of photosynthesis. Okay, food storage takes place in parenchyma. They are the simple cells. All the cells are loosely connected in this. I will show you the diagram. Okay, you can see they are oval in structure. Okay, parenchyma tissues are oval in structures. They are loosely arranged and there is large intercellular space between them. There is large intercellular space between them. You can see here. This is the space. Okay. They are loosely connected with each other and they are having intercellular spaces present between the cells. Okay. Now, parenchyma cells, depending on their functions, they are mainly divided into three types. First one is your depending on the functions, parenchyma tissues are mainly divided into two categories. First one is collenchyma and sclerenchyma and parenchyma. Okay, depending on the functions, this parenchyma tissues are of two types. First one is sclerenchyma and parenchyma. Okay, so this is sclerenchyma and this one is parenchyma. Okay, now sclerenchyma tissues are responsible for having chlorophyll in it. Because of the presence of chlorophyll, they are known as sclerenchyma. Okay, and because of the presence of air space between them, okay, air space between them, they are known as parenchyma. Now, which part of the plant will have air? These are the aquatic plants. Parenchyma tissues are found in the aquatic plants, and this quality of having air in their leaves gives them bouncy. Bouncy means they can float on the surface of the water. Okay, so we can say because of the presence of parenchyma tissues, leaves of the aquatic plants floats on their surface. Now, why they don't get spoiled in water? Because they are having a waxy coating of cuticle on their surface. That's why they are known as parenchyma tissues. Okay, I hope you had understood about this parenchyma. Next, we are going to deal with the collenchyma. See, we have to remember the difference. This is collenchyma, and this was sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma will have chlorophyll, and collenchyma is responsible for giving flexibility to the plants. Okay, it gives flexibility to the plants. Flexibility, आपने देखा होगा बहुत लंबे-लंबे जो पेड़ होते हैं, बहुत तेज हवा भी चले, so they used to bend. वो bend होते हैं, but they never break down. Okay, बहुत झटके से जो है वो break down नहीं होते, बहुत severe conditions में हो जाते हैं. But maximum cases you feel that with the blow of air, they used to bend like this, and then again they used to stand. Okay, so that quality of the plant is given by the collenchyma tissues. Okay, I will draw the diagram of this collenchyma tissue. I will show you the diagram here. See, they are arranged like this. They are interconnected with each other. There is no intercellular space between them. There is no intercellular space. They are bounded with each other. That's why they can provide flexibility. जुड़े रहते हैं इसलिए नहीं टूटते, ठीक है, इसलिए जुड़े रहना जो है वो ज़्यादा जरूरी है. So these are the structure of your collenchyma tissue. You can see there is no intercellular space. दो cells के बीच में जो है यहाँ पे intercellular space नहीं है, जबकि they are having strong binding here. Okay, they are having very strong binding. समझ में आया? I hope डिफरेंस समझ में आ गया होगा आपको. Okay. Very good. So next, the last topic of this is simple permanent tissues. Okay, simple permanent tissue is the sclerenchyma. Okay, what is this? Sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma are actually the dead cells. Okay, when you see the bark of the cell, they all are the dead cells, right? Sclerenchyma are the dead cells. They are made up of lignin, right? Lignin. Okay. They are protective in nature. They protect the plant from external sunlight, water, insects or any mechanical injury. Right? So you can note it down. Then we are going to start with the complex permanent tissues. Okay. Now students, we are going to start with the complex permanent tissue. Just now we had seen simple permanent tissues and now we are dealing with complex permanent tissues. Complex permanent tissues are made up of more than two types of simple permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissues के दो या दो से ज़्यादा टाइप के टिश्यू से मिल करके बनता है complex permanent tissue. Okay. Now complex permanent tissues are mainly of two types. First one is xylem, second one is phloem. Xylem and phloem, right? Now xylem is responsible for conduction of water and minerals from the roots to the shoot of the plant. Each and every part of the plant, water and minerals are being transported with the help of xylem, complex permanent tissue. Okay. Now your xylem along with its four companions. Okay, companions, these are the types. Okay, these are tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. Okay, these are the different types of xylem tissues which help them to conduct water from roots to the shoot of the plant. Okay, these are tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. Okay, the next complex permanent tissue is the phloem. Now phloem is responsible for production of food. Now from where this food is formed? Which part of the plant? The kitchen of the cell, that is the leaves. Okay, in the leaves plant prepare their food and then with the help of its companions like seed tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. These are the different components of the phloem which help it in transportation of food which was prepared in the plants. Right? So these are the complex permanent tissues. I tell you one thing, from the function of xylem is unidirectional. Okay, it is unidirectional. Okay, function is unidirectional, means it can move only in one direction, that is from the roots to the shoots. Okay, from root to the shoot. And the function of phloem is bidirectional. Bidirectional, why? Because the food is being transported in upper direction also and in lower direction also. Means from the leaves food is given to the roots also and the lower leaves can also prepare their food and it can transport to the upper part of the plant also. So the conduction of food is bidirectional and conduction of water is unidirectional. So students, you can note it down and will continue with the animal tissue. Now we are going to deal with the special mechanism which is present in the plant which helps in protection of the plant. Okay, these are done with the help of guard cells and epidermal tissues. Okay, epidermal tissues are found in the uppermost layer of the leaf. Okay, the upper layer of the leaf is known as epidermal tissue. That epidermal tissue contains guard cells. Okay, epidermal tissues contains guard cells. These are actually the stomata. Stomata. Okay, stomata is present in upper as well as lower surface of the plant. Stomata is present in upper and lower surface of the plant, and this helps in exchange of gases. Exchange of gases from the atmosphere to into the plants and from the plants to the outside. Okay, which gas is absorbed by the stomata? It is, बताइए, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is being absorbed by the plants, and in turn plant releases which gas? It is oxygen. Okay, so we can make it like this: CO2 and O2. Right? O2 is given by the plants. Okay, and carbon dioxide is absorbed by them. Now, guard cells are mainly of two types. These are dumbbell shaped and bean shaped. Okay, dumbbell shaped are seen in the monocot plants, and bean shaped is seen in the dicot plants. Monocot and dicot plants. Now, this epidermal tissue is responsible for protection of the plants. Okay, so this is very small topic, this one, and we are going to deal with the animal tissue next.